We receive a notice from a neighbor that there's a ladder up to one of our windows. He calls us from the house, he's walking through it and he's like, oh, this is gone, oh, your TV is gone, oh, there's, cupboards open, and he's giving us a play-by-play of what he's discovering in our house.
And then realized as well that the vehicle had been taken. And it was that point, of course, that we were very upset about what had happened.
It just, devastating in terms of changing our entire Christmas plans. And as a result, we couldn't travel to see the family. And there were so many snowstorms, we couldn't fly either.
Delta Police dealt with the investigation by drawing a number of resources together to tackle a problem. Our patrol officers, our zone owners, conducted covert and overt surveillance, in addition to street checks of people coming and going from the residence. Our street crime unit conducted surveillance as well, and our patrol support team took over the investigation towards the end that resulted in a search warrant being issued and stolen property being recovered and returned to owners.
The Delta Police motto is no call too small. Essentially, we sweat the small stuff. We want to identify issues and address them before they become entrenched and difficult to solve.
Within the police department, all levels of police officer or civilian employee is able to deal with concerns from our community, and those are not just concerns that traditionally police deal with, like criminal code concerns. These are what we call community concerns or lifestyle concerns, and they may be things that are problem residences or problem areas, basically things that prevent people from really enjoying their community or their area.
What does it look like to come into a home that has been entered? And when we came in, it was an awful feeling as we wandered through. Not only are you looking around trying to survey what is gone, but there's this horrible sense of violation that someone has rummaged through all of your personal effects and helped themselves to whatever they wanted.
Within our Delta Service Enhancement Plan or DSEP plan, there's different roles for each person in the agency, and that would be from our intelligence section to our tactical management team, really from the chief and the district commanders down.
The DSEP model is built on 5 tenets or 5 pillars. And the first pillar is we want to make sure that we align our resources to our service demand so officers have the time to be proactive. Secondly, we've split Delta into 10 zones and 4 districts. And again, the purpose of this is to make sure that our officers have ownership of an area. We also recognize that often the zone officers don't have the resources or the capacity to deal with some of those issues, so they need support. So we've created a patrol support team that can come in and front load issues that they're dealing with to provide extra capacity to deal with if it's traffic issues or crime related investigative type issues. And most importantly, like DSEP is built on the principles of having proactive time, and we want to direct that activity to where the people, problem, and places are occurring, and our zone officers to identify those issues and work with the community to address them. And then finally, we want to do this in a standardized, consistent approach, so customer service is very important to us.
What zone ownership gives us is a familiarity with the area, with the problems, and with the people that are reporting them, so we can make a face-to-face interaction and come up with some solutions that will help them with that problem. And one of the things I can do, such as a theft from vehicle hotspot, is I can go to that area and I will sit there and write my report there and be a visible presence for the community or the criminals, as opposed to being in the office writing a report.
When we deal with the public, meet with the public, we hand out our business card. On our business card is our email address, telephone number, and the public is encouraged to contact us as need be.
So it's a community. We want to keep it that way. It's small. We want everybody to feel safe. And one way of doing that is communication, is talking about it and being familiar with where these things are happening. And most importantly, reporting it to the appropriate people.
We had a recent incident in Delta where there was a property residence identified by our zone officers.
We heard from the Delta Police when they had recovered our vehicle. Then I confirmed that it was my vehicle, and I was just absolutely delighted, because for me that was the biggest loss.
The English Bluff investigation resulted in 58 criminal charges being approved against several individuals, ranging from possession of stolen property to fraud and identity theft. Right from the beginning, they spent time with us on the phone. They explained what was going on, and really quite impressed with that kind of engagement with them.
By them being involved with the community, by them stopping and listening to the residents, that would build a relationship. And if you can build a good relationship with them, it'll work.
I believe this approach has been successful on twofold. One, I think we are building those more relationships with our community and identifying what the real issues are and directing our resources to address those issues. I think also for our officers, often before prevention wasn't able to be measured, and utilizing this model, it allows that to occur. Essentially, we've got back to grassroots policing, where we're engaging directly with our community to identify what the issues and concerns are and working together to solve those issues.